from where we are standing, I can explain the whole military situation on the ground. If I just get out of the way, you can see where the smoke is. That is Bab al-Azazia. That is where Gaddafi's compound is, and it is coming under heavy mortar and Grad rocket fire. And if we pan just a little bit to the left, well, we have to bear in mind that the rebels are now in control of Gaddafi's compound. If we're going to pan just a little bit to the left, that is the front line. You're going to see an area which is known as Abu Salim. And there are pockets of resistance. Gaddafi's men are holed up there. And most of them are civilians from the area. And this is what I've been told by rebels. Now we're going to pan just a little bit more to the left. And you're going to see a forest. It is sniper infested. That is the zoo, and that is where Gaddafi's men are. That is where they're launching the Grad rockets, the mortar rockets from, and snipers are slowing the rebel advance. There have been heavy clashes from both sides. Now, we're going to try to zoom in to this tent, to this white tent. You're going to see a burned out building behind it that used to be where Saif al-Islam received guests. The rebels told me that they bombed it. Now the tent, we can actually see Gaddafi's men. You can see the green flag. So you can see how close really the rebels are to Gaddafi's fighters. And the fighting really has been fierce ever since we've been here over the past 2 hours. And you can see probably the green flag. So this remains their stronghold. Now, while rebels have been able to take control of many areas, really, of Tripoli, they are still holed up there. Now, if we pan to the left even further, Balkan, if we move the camera a little bit to the left, you're going to see forests. And that as well is where Gaddafi's men are hiding and snipers are. Then you're going to see that flat roof. Behind that flat roof is the Rixos Hotel, where approximately 40 international journalists are trapped. We do not know whether they can't leave because of the fighting or whether they are being prevented from leaving. Now, they have been there before the opposition actually stormed the Libyan capital late on Sunday. So they are in the middle of the battlefield, surrounded by Gaddafi's men, and you're going to see how difficult the fight will be because it's all forests. But the rebels really are trying to make an advance, and like I mentioned, heavy fighting is taking place.
Shit, right, let's go. That's come right near us, that is. Get back now, move.
Yes, I can hear you on IFB, but we're just taking a bit of incoming. We're just crawling behind the vehicle, if you can still hear me.
Right, we're going to run.
That in the school in the compound, which is just sort of to the right of these trees, that there have been snipers, we think, in those trees. We can't confirm that, but that's what the rebel soldiers are telling us. And they've sent as much artillery in there as they possibly can. You can still hear some of the weapons, some of the firepower going in there to try and take those snipers out. Now, they told us that they thought they'd cleared the snipers, and we did edge forwards a little earlier, just before we came to talk to you, and then we could actually hear the bullets going past us. So we've retreated back to the relative safety of this gateway. But they are still having to engage with some of these Gaddafi loyalists who seem to be holed up, some actually in the compound, if the rebels are to believe, and some the other side of the compound walls. So it is still ongoing. I must say that the majority of this compound really is in rebel-controlled hands, and they are pushing in so much firepower now that you do wonder if there are a handful of snipers around, how long they can hold out for. But this is causing a problem. I was told by a colleague of mine from Al Jazeera that he'd seen 2 bodies down by the building down there that he thinks were Gaddafi loyalists. Again, cannot verify whether that is true or not, but very much still, it is a changing, a fluid situation.